this is going to be a rant episode for this. There's no freaking way unless episode 6. I want to say this just basically for people to really understand here is that if you really love someone and you really mean that you really do, and when you kiss somebody, you have to take full responsibility for that, regardless who the person really are, regardless like if you're in love with a guy or in love with a girl, or a girl in love with a girl, or a guy in love with a guy, whatever it may be, and stuff like that. And basically stuff like that. You have to take full responsibility for your actions because of what you did. Right there. Amazing right there. What Rinko did right there that Sasuke wants to have a picture taken, basically a kiss on the cheek. She didn't want to go indirect, meaning that indirect, basically kissing each other like a normal couple would just basically do, just normally kiss each other, you know what I mean, so stuff like that. But one person wanted to say here is that I think Sasuke is right. I think that she has to take full responsibility because of basically what she did and stuff like that. But you also have to understand Sasuke probably would say, well, this is my very first time and I don't know really much about basically doing this. Because I think it's kind of like a forceful kind of situation. The one thing I feel basically the problem with this anime, I want to say this also too, I don't think a lot of people really don't know, I feel like the characters are being forced on each other. That's what I kind of feel like. Some people will say that's a good thing, some people will say that's a good thing, some people will say that's a bad thing. It's basically in general that it can be either both sides. It can be either both sides basically when it comes to different characters and stuff like that. Now I understand that some of the support characters are supposed to support the MC and stuff like that. But the problem is that when you have the support characters basically just comes in that supports the MC, the problem I see here was basically that the fan service is nice to see. It really actually is. I'm quite surprised to see such a abundant spicy fan service in this episode. Wow. Really actually is. Wow, I'm not gonna lie. But the point I really want to get here is basically that I don't like the whole aspect that support characters are basically being shoved into a corner to basically be forced to like the MC. I want to see the characters be supportive of the MC, but not into a forceful situation where they have to make an indirect kiss or whatever, etc., whatever they basically actually doing and stuff like that. I don't mind, but as long as it's not a forceful kind of like of a situation, because that's just what it basically feels to me. That's what it basically feels to me. I definitely do think I was right. Actually, I wouldn't take credit for this, but I think that this person was right because it feels to me that the MC is feeling like that she's basically wants to have these indirect emotions with other different characters based in the anime. What that means is basically that it's kind of like throwing the ball. Like you're basically you're throwing the ball. Like take as for instance for baseball. Okay, you're practicing, you're throwing the ball. That's what you basically have to do, or hit the ball. That's what you're doing. So when you continue to throw that ball and to continue throwing all over the place, that can raise a lot of concerns and stuff like that. But the question is, where's that ball going to go? Where the really actually is going to go? Is it going to land in the hands of the person, or basically it's really not? Because if you drop that ball, guess what? That ball is just basically going to drop, and that leads to a situation. That's kind of like with a cornerback. A cornerback is supposed to have protection. Means that his guards, his bodyguards, means that he's supposed to protect the defenders. I would say the defense, or let's say, and they're supposed to protect them. It means kind of like the enemies basically are attacking you. That's what they're doing. And you have your team that supports you, and then you have this ball, and then you throw it up in the air, and you have to wonder, like, are you going to catch the ball, or are you not going to catch the ball? Are you going to catch the ball? So basically in Rico, it basically in my own general direction, basically with her, is basically that she needs to learn not to drop the ball. If she's gonna drop the ball, then everything is going to spill out also well too. Now the problem is basically with Rico is basically stuff like that. It's basically a trust factor also as well too with Sasuke, and I definitely agree with her basically with this is that telling her some things basically with the case with her mom. Her mom, yeah, she's good looking, she's really is not, so I'm not gonna lie about that. But the point is really want to say here is that she the mom may look like she's young, she may look like just like Sasuke, but she really basically kind of in the situation. But I think the Sasuke wants Rinku not to spill the beans. Means that if you like I said for if you're gonna catch the ball, don't drop it, because if you drop that ball, then that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. What happens if you fumble? What happens if you fumble the ball? Oh boy, that's not a good situation. That's not a good situation. That's not. If you fumble that, oh boy, that's kind of like spilling the beans. That's really basically yes. That's spoils everything basically what you really do want, basically the person that you really want to be with. But I think Rico needs to really basically understand here is that yes, I do agree basically on the fact that she's being patient, but she does not need to be forced into a situation when it comes to support characters to have the inner directive of a kiss or basically something else. That's something the problem I definitely see here and basically stuff like that. The anime definitely is good. I still see that big elephant basically in the room. It's kind of like it's Christmas time. You're waiting for to open up the box. It's kind of like when you get ready to open up that box. The question is, what are you going to get? You don't know. You really don't know what you basically are going to get. But when you open it and when you see what you get, is see what you got. Basically been given. It's kind of like open up Pandora's box. That means Pandora's box has already been opened, and that means that when the Pandora's box is open, there's no stopping Pandora. That means Pandora is going to spread. That's basically what it actually is. Gossips and rumors and stuff like that, all that different kinds of stuff. It spreads like wildfire, and it really actually does. Now that also brings in something also basically in a question also as well too. Basically stuff like that. But let me go back to the point when I said that Sasuke said that you have to take responsibility, and that's really actually is. She didn't want to do an indirect kiss. She really didn't want to, but she wanted to do the kiss on the cheek. What that basically means is that she wanted to share it for people to really actually see and stuff like that. Or maybe that she's just doing that just to make Mai upset. Maybe that she's really basically just to do it. Some people will call that a revenge of how should I put this? A revenge situation. Or it's hard to explain. I can't really say really much based in general. Basically in general, it's kind of like a revenge scandal situation. That's something that you really shouldn't do, and just to do that just to make others upset, that's something you shouldn't do. I would never do stuff like that just to make someone upset. That's kind of like hey, I really don't care, I'm just gonna do that. That's what I'm just gonna do because just to make others upset. No, because you're making enemies. That's what you're basically doing. Some people are like that just to do that because they really want to do that because they think that is okay. I don't think it's okay because I don't think it's not. I personally will definitely say I don't care for your guy or a girl or stuff like that or whatever it is that you do. If you think that that is your sole desire just to make people upset like that, I don't want to associate with you. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion. That's what I definitely think. But to be honest with you, if I would have told Sasuke, I said, like, look, Sasuke, I don't feel comfortable basically doing this. I understand you want to kiss on the cheek, but I don't feel it's appropriate to basically do that. But if it's just as for friends of a situation, then yes, I would like that. But why does it need to be posted on social media? Why does it need to be posted on there? Why does it need to be posted on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram? or anything like that. I will say this. I will say this, like I said before. Will say this before. Is that if I feel like if I had a partner with anybody, would I feel comfortable basically kissing her or whoever it is and stuff like that based on camera? To be honest with you, no, because I don't think it's appropriate. That's my opinion. That's what I definitely think. But when it comes to being married, that's when I think it is appropriate. That's what I definitely think it really actually is. I don't want to leave bad intentions onto others to really to think that, James, what are you doing? Why would you do stuff like this? You need to think about what you are doing. That's the situation for what I see here. That's the situation what I see here. But the problem is basically is both different factors. They're both different factors, and I think that both of these different factors, the main factor is based on Riku. It's based on Riku. Is based with her. She's the MC based in this anime. But the major big factor is the side characters, is the supporting characters are being forced into the situation with the MC. That's what I feel. That's what I feel like. But like I said before, take as for instance, you're getting ready for Christmas. You get ready to open up the boxes and stuff. But you want to know what it actually is. Take as for instance, if you were to open Pandora's box, guess what? There it goes, and Pandora's box. It's already been opened, and there's no way. You can't really can't stop it. That means that's kind of like showing the whole entire world what you really have, and what's basically shown to the world to basically actually there. I definitely agree with Chi what it says when it comes to censorship and stuff like that. Pandora's box has already been opened. There's no closing it back. I definitely agree with him. Basically with that. And I definitely do agree on the fact, because I think that he's right. And based on using this as for a metaphor for people to really to understand, here is that yes, based on this episode, Pandora's box has already been opened, because if you think about it, think really hard about what I'm saying here, is that what Rico really actually did, taking a picture, there you go. Pandora's box has already been opened. That means a lot of people are probably going to wonder, probably going to say like, oh wow, this is spicy. Oh, you shouldn't do that and stuff like that. Oh, and they're probably saying like, are they in a relationship or are they friends and stuff like that? People want to know what's going on inside your brain. They want to ask questions. That's what they really do want. So that's basically what they definitely want. But I'm willing to say here is that I think that these two girls, that they are typical teenagers and stuff like that, because they really don't know about when it comes to doing sexual things or anything like that, or indirect kiss or anything like that. Take as is for Mai wants to go a little bit further. That's what she really wants to do, because she's more aggressive basically on the approach, because she seems like she's more like a control basic kind of situation. I don't like that, because I don't want to be in a relationship with someone that's more aggressive to be in control, because I do want to be in control, but I don't want to basically to feel that the controlness and stuff like that. I don't want to basically force to implement if I really want to mate with my partner or my girlfriend or whoever it is and stuff like that. That's what it feels to me. So I think Rico needs to understand here is that she needs to choose what she needs to do. She has to choose very carefully. There's different paths that she needs to take. Like I said before, free will. Free will is a very important aspect when you're watching anime, watching shows. Free will is very extremely important, and I think it really actually is. And I think it's a very important aspect. I think for a lot of people who really should know and really should understand. If people doesn't understand what free will, then you're not going to understand what it means and what it means to take those chances, of what you really actually definitely want to wait. But you have to remember, you are responsible for your own actions. You are responsible for what you do and for what you say, and whatever outcomes that really actually is. Because the past may seem to be different, but guess what? The future really matters. But when it comes to the present, whatever that you did It reflects on you in the past. But whatever you did now, guess what? It's going to reflect on you into the future. That's what it basically feels to be. So you have to control your own center. You control your own circle around you. So what are you going to do? How are you going to progress? Are you going to progress as a person that goes to being evil, or progress being a person being good? It's your choice. Your choice. It's your choice. Some people like to go way too far. Some people like to wants to be the hero or be the villain. Take as for instance, Batman. He's a hero, but he doesn't really label himself as a hero. Not really. But the Joker, on the other hand, he labeled himself as a villain because he's a really, very, very messed up individual in the mind, in the brain. But also think about this as well too. Can't remember that that Batman has no jurisdictions. What does that mean? Question is, nothing. He has no jurisdictions. He has nothing. He has no jurisdictions. There's no saying what Batman's really actually going to do. You can't really predict what he's actually going to do. Where is he at? Hiding in the woods? Hiding in a closet? Maybe in my bedroom or anything like that. I'm just using that for example. He could be hiding inwards. I mean, think about it. I mean, people do have their jurisdictions. It just depends on the nature of the person. So I mean, that's basically what it feels to me. Does the Joker has jurisdictions? I think he probably does. But even though he analyzed basically on some different things based on what he does. So yeah. Anyways, that's it for this handwriting review. Tell me what you guys think. You guys like this episode? You guys don't like it? What are you guys' thoughts and opinions about what I said? And then comment on this episode, and I'd love to hear what you got to say. But yeah, anyways, I know it sounds. I'll see you guys later. Take care. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Don't forget to subscribe. Please consider subscribing. Please hit the like button. Give me a thumbs up or give me a thumbs down. And please leave me comments below. Anyways, I love you guys. Take care. Hope you have a wonderful day. Excuse me. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care. God bless. Remember, I love you guys. Please stay. And remember, stay blessed. Love you guys. Take care. Bye.